Good afternoon to you, Mark Sudduth, HurricaneTrack.com, here with your Hurricane Pro and HD video blog for the 18th of August, 2013. Take a look first at the visible satellite loop of the tropical Atlantic. You notice not a lot of deep convection anywhere east of the Lesser Antilles from this region and points east. And that's because of all that dry sinking air, and that is part of the current phase of the Madden-Julian oscillation that we are currently experiencing, where there's a lot of sinking motion in the atmosphere, and that downward motion dries the air out like a bicycle pump. The air warms, it heats up, it dries out, and it results in swirls like this as opposed to hurricanes. This is Tropical Depression Aaron, what's left of it. Very well defined circulation. I mean, it's like you're looking at the skeleton of a hurricane that has died and rotted away. Morbid, I know, but that's kind of like what it is. All the meat of it, if you will, has been stripped away due to a little bit of shear in the atmosphere, but mostly the very stable air mass that has been in place and continues to remain in place over the tropical Atlantic. This mess of moisture over here is what's left over of Area 92L, Invest Area 92L. Obviously not going to develop, but it's bringing a lot of rainfall to the Gulf Coast region and parts of the southeast. Rather nasty weekend for some of those areas. But this will eventually pass, and the pattern will reset itself. And I think as we get into September, things will warm up in the east, and we will probably also be dealing with hurricane threats more than likely. And I don't say that lightly to be sensational. You know, you think about the natural progression of things. We are supposed to have increased hurricane activity in September, and I think that the coming Madden-Julian oscillation favorable upward motion pulse that we're going to get will enhance that even more. So enjoy this quiet, as I've said many times. Enjoy it while it lasts. Do something to prepare yourselves now. And that's not just U.S. interests. You know, folks use this app all across the Caribbean here, the Bahamas, Central America, and Mexico. Literally hundreds of thousands of users over the years, and we're not just talking about U.S. interests here. So be ready. The hurricanes are coming. I know it seems like everything has been anemic, and that certainly has been the way it is. Not one hurricane has formed yet, but it's just a matter of time, and things are going to get quite busy, and we just hope everybody's ready. One thing I wanted to show you, just to kind of prove the point that things are just about ready in the Atlantic Basin, this is the shear, wind shear, 850 millibar to 200 millibar wind shear, and that's simply the change in wind speed with or direction with height. You think about 5,000 feet in the atmosphere here, and 20, 30,000 feet, maybe higher, 40,000 feet up here. You want the wind all blowing in the same direction with the tropical system that's coming along. If you have wind that's blowing against that, you get shear. And I think that makes sense, what shear is. And right now, the wind shear values are right where they should be in the tropical Atlantic. This is the tropical Atlantic vertical wind shear profile, and it's right where it should be, right along climatology. You see, we've been actually below the climatological average for a while, so wind shear has not been too much of an issue. Instead, it has been the dry air. The thermodynamics in the atmosphere instability is well below the long-term average here, and it's been that way all season long. In fact, all the way back through last year and the last couple of years. And there's a lot of theories as to why that's been the case. So it's interesting, if these tropical waves stop developing way out in the eastern Atlantic near the Cape Verde Islands, and they just take a few more days before they develop, they're going to be farther west and have a greater chance to impact land, because this wind shear you saw was lower than average, and yet the instability is also lower. Your instability is the ability of the atmosphere to produce thunderstorms. It's kind of dry and stable right now, so your vertical instability, as it's called, running below the climatological mean for this time of year, this will probably change in the next couple of weeks. We see the signs. You know, it's funny, we see all these different sites and methods to watch the tropics, and it's literally just like the watch pot never boils, get rid of this, syndrome that you keep watching with all these tools that are available. It seems like it takes forever. For those who are enthusiastic about tracking hurricanes for whatever reason, it's just a natural progression this time of year. We're still only in mid-August. After about the 20th, things naturally get busier, and I think that's going to be the case. I'm going to reiterate it one more time. Use this time to do something to get ready. Whether it's, the littlest thing can make a big difference for you. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Again, I'm Mark Studeth. HurricaneTrack.com is my website. Check it out if you haven't already. And always a privilege to do these videos for Hurricane Pro in HD. Appreciate you watching. I'll have more for you throughout the week next week.